this way as far as we can.
On today's Woods and Wonders video, my friend George and I prepared to take on the task of getting the loft railing finished. This was the first time that we had been up at the cabin in over a month, and there was a lot of work that needed to be done. If you're new to this channel, my name is Chelsea and I bought 4 acres of land in the beautiful hills of West Virginia, and I am building my dream getaway cabin with my best friend George. We milled the oak wood for the ladder by ourselves. We did all of the prep work for it, so that felt like a big accomplishment to be able to put that into the cabin after working so hard on it. Grab a hot or cool drink and join us for today's episode. All right, these are rough cut 2x4s that got off an Amish guy. How many pieces was it? 4? 4 10-footers for $13. So we're gonna run them through the planer here in a minute. Very, very heavy. This is what we are using to build the loft ladder. Me and George were putting these pieces of oak lumber through the planer so that we could get all 4 pieces to be exact 2x4s, since these were rough cut lumber. All right, this is a shelf that George cut from a piece of pine, piece of wood that was cut. 1 coat of stain on so far, gonna do a 2nd coat, but this will be the shelf in the kitchen. One thing that you don't see in these videos is a lot of people don't see the amount of prep work that goes into certain projects for this cabin. In this case, George and I had worked on this lumber for this loft ladder for weeks, getting it prepared, and then eventually to stain it and put the poly on and then get it put together. Right here, we're just taking the rough edges off of the sides of the lumber. Now we're just running it through the table saw to get some more of those rough edges off of the sides. We're gonna run these through the table saw again just to take a little bit more of the rough parts off of it. And then once that's done, George will run the router on the edges of them just to get that round piece on, so they're not sharp. Sweet. Makes those smooth edges.
Your first time, I mean,
After that, I did one last sanding to prep the boards for stain and poly. Now George is cutting notches out of the sides of the 2x4s so that the stairs that we cut can slide down and sit on top of those notches.
so for our steps on our ladder, we're going to have them recessed a little bit at every 12 inches. So I got this cool jig so everything will match perfect. And we got a mark there at 12 inches. Every step will be uniform. Then when I go to do the other side, I'll turn the jig to the opposite angle.
And the steps are going to be a foot apart. All right, got the first outside piece to the ladder. The notches for the steps to go into. With this being oak, we only had to put one coat of the stain on it. As you can see how well it's soaked into that oak. Each piece has one coat of stain, and I'm finishing the backs of these with the first coat of poly. The sides and this other side here already have one coat, so once that dries I'll go ahead and put a second coat on everything. And this should be good to go to head up to the cabin tomorrow. It will be the first time in a month that we've been up there working.
Actually, no, it's a Noah. Noah? Okay, Noah's a toddler. Why did Noah?
Yeah, I probably could have got two, but so the shelf is 8 foot, and it'll go all the way across, and then eventually the oven will be here. So you can be cooking at the oven and have your spices up here and some of your decorations to start.
We're gonna have to notch it to go around that trim.
I think, of course, we're gonna be lower too, but I think that'd be good, don't you? Shorty needs to be able to.
Well, that's just it.
I got this. Hold on, making more. Looks like, yeah.
I'm worried about it. All right, get rid of the level then. That around that trim we can get it.
I would honestly. Let me see what it looks like. Yeah, like I was telling George, I don't like the lighting, how it shows up on camera with that DeWalt light. But once we have the lights on in here, it looks really good. But it's more bright in person, so the camera doesn't do it justice. But there's the shelf. Yeah, I'm thinking over this way is our best bet. Then, yeah. Here we are trying to decide where the opening of the railing is going to go. And I think it was going to look better if it leaned more to the left side. That way the ladder wasn't directly in the middle, right behind the couch, and also blocking the view if you're in the kitchen cooking and you're looking at the TV across the room. So I didn't want the ladder right in the middle. Haven't showed this, but got the bed frame put together and the comforter. This bed has not been slept in yet. Nice little view of the woods. A nice little view of downstairs. Ended up going with the metal balusters and just these basic posts from Lowe's. Originally, when I started designing the cabin and coming up with ideas, and we cleared all these trees out. We had cut down 2 smaller trees, and eventually I was going to use them to make the posts for the loft, but you know, with time constraints and life in general, sometimes that doesn't, it's nice to use the wood from your land, and we have used some of the wood from the land for certain things, but just time wasn't on my side. So these are from Lowe's, and then I was going to do the wooden balusters and have them stain the same color, but I think that would just be too much, you know, wood or that stain color. So I think the metal balusters will really level it out, and then also you have those metal frames for down in the kitchen from that shelf, so it kind of uniforms together. Then start it up like that. Okay, so as you can see, we've got almost half of the holes drilled for this beam. This is literally probably one of the hardest parts of the build so far when it comes to exerting yourself. Drill bit. That baby's burning. It smells like burnt popcorn.
After about 6 hours of working on the loft railing, we were extremely exhausted, so I finished cleaning up, sweeping up the sawdust, and we called it a day.
All right, well, we're done for the day. It's getting later, and we just did as much physically as we felt like doing today, because that's a lot of work drilling down into that oak. We'll be back up on Sunday, hopefully get that railing finished and attach the loft ladder. See you then. So putting this ladder together, we have the pocket holes drilled in underneath the step, and then just securing it.
Just wanted to say Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. There was just a cardinal a few minutes ago up on the telephone pole. Hope all the good dads out there have a great day.
We just got up here to the cabin, but we started drilling the holes for the balusters and the drill bit because how much work we put into it the other day and how hot it gets. It melted the cutting part, the sharp part of the bit, and it's just barely drilling. So there's a Lowe's about 15-20 minutes away from here, so we're gonna go get a new drill bit to make this go a lot easier. All right, this is the new drill bit. It's what they had, a little different from what we had.
So you take 2 nuts and put together.
Now he's got to drill into the ceiling. A little taller than I thought it'd be, but I guess that's a good thing when you have kids.
So we'll have all this. We'll get all these in a straight line.
The posts were not secured to the brackets yet, so that's why they're wobbling back and forth. You don't do that till the end.
George! Sitting here doing them and then that quick forgot. Oh. Depends on how far down.
It's in there good.
Yeah. For the little end. I would cut one and we can test it. We'll run another one. This is what we have so far. You might see the post leaning because it's not secured in yet, but we have those balusters in so far. Still have this side to do, and we have those in. Yeah, that's fine. I like the look of that. Yeah. We're not gonna get to the other. Ooh, keep forgetting that's a slanted ceiling. We're not gonna get to the other side. We still have 8 more to do. It's 3 o'clock. Got an hour drive home. Come back up maybe one day next weekend. I was gonna say, depending if the pool comes. If it doesn't by next weekend, we could maybe come up a few hours on a Saturday or. All right, so this side's done. Like I said earlier, the posts aren't secured yet and fastened properly because we have to get that tool. Plus we just gotta secure that in general. And then that's this side. All right, and that's what the loft railing looks like. I'll finish the other side the next time we come up. Yeah, and then like these matches and stuff, I'm gonna get a little container to put them in to sit them in the windowsill. Alright, I guess your end's the
The
floor.
bottom. If you want to come here and hold this, I'll come down that end and start what hill.
Okay, hold that right there.
So